So I currently have the flu, or I'm recovering from it as I'm making this video. I've been pretty much man down for the last week, completely put out of action, and it halted a lot of the things that I've been working on regarding business, socializing, just in general life, which obviously isn't good. And while I've been sick, I've realized a few things, just kind of reflecting over my life in general. Because I like to use these moments where I feel that sickness is life's way of, imposing a momentary pause for you to just sit and reflect on what's going on or just take inventory of your life. And I realized that, honestly, I'm afraid. I am afraid of, now, funny enough, now I'm in a position to actually create my own business, to start creating a name for myself, to actually fulfill the things that I always wanted to do. I am afraid because now, for the first time, it seems like it's actually tangible. I have a group of friends who are helping me with with optimizing my systems, who are fantastic brand advisors. I've done a lot of self-development. I've taken so many courses and learned extrapolated information from them and learned my own techniques so that now I can teach other people, my knowledge. I am in a position where finally, after years and years of wanting to be my own boss, wanting to build my own brand, to build, my own online persona, and be able to stand among some of my favorite creators. Now that I've got to a point where it's now time to just execute it, I feel afraid. I feel so conscious of the thoughts of others. I'm so conscious of my own, just understanding and knowing myself, just knowing the intricacies of my mind, knowing what other people might think, even though I know for a fact deep down inside, nobody really cares, right? We just live in this microcosm of social media where everything seems to be so much more amplified than it actually is. But the truth is, for the first time in my life, I'm now creating my own pathway, creating my own destiny. Whereas back in the military, it was all created for me. And even before then, when I had jobs, when I was in school, these were all areas of life which were dictated to me. And all I had to do was just not think and just path, just go on autopilot and just do what I was told. Now I'm in a position where I'm able to think for myself. And it's funny because the thought of that is actually quite terrifying. But not in the conventional sense of I genuinely feel scared. It's just terrifying because now I'm in full control. I have to take full accountability. I now also have the gift of being able to go my own way, being able to start and create a life that I feel proud of. But it's just as much a double-edged sword because with that comes all the responsibilities, all the decision making, all the systems, all the routines, the discipline, everything. It all just falls down to my shoulders. And I don't know why, it's just hit me all of a sudden after like 2.5 years of posting online. When I was doing the 75 Hard program, I started just posting on Instagram, trying my hand at, self-improvement content on YouTube. But in all of those, I say iterations of myself, I was able to extract areas of my psyche, which now have led me to this next stage of my life. And it's what I've always wanted to do. But now that it's here, now that the only thing left to do is to just post, is to create, is to educate, inform, now that has left me feeling this, oh shit, it's real. It's like preparing a speech, psyching yourself up, speaking to yourself in the mirror, and then when you get to the venue and when you're about to go up on stage, all of a sudden your throat just goes dry, starts closing up, you get all sweaty and clammy palms. And it's insane because you spend so much time training for the moment, but when it finally gets there, you get stuck. And I think a great deal of this is to do with my perfectionism, because I have a huge insecurity around the way that I am portrayed, because of the way that I look at myself. My self-portrayal, my self-image is what I project onto everything else. I always try to be as immaculately turned out and dressed as possible, right from, my hair. I always try to make sure that my hair looks great. I try to make sure that I am dressed well. Right now I look like absolute crap, right? I've been just growing the beard out. I've not bothered to groom it or trim it because the past week I've just been in bed, just flawed, doing a little bit of work and then go back to being flawed. But a huge aspect of that is my perception of self. So that's why I'm making this video, because it's my own declaration that I no longer give a shit. I no longer will hold myself in chains of having to be flawless, having to be perfect, right? And it's funny because on the surface level, we all understand, right? I understand that perfectionism is another way of just tying yourself into, this perpetual sense of self-criticism. It's one of the best ways to keep yourself stuck in the cycle of entropy, right? You're just stuck in the circle of chaos. And it's very, very just self-destructive. It's very debilitating. But we do it nonetheless because we have an internal dialogue which maps our true sense of self. And so, as much as I have learned about how to navigate entropy, how to use tools such as the breath, understanding the sense of the self, understanding, just how we can shift the state from low energy to high energy, from high energy to low energy, or coming into the middle, there is still that voice that knows, you know yourself best, right? And I like to use the analogy of the scientist that just sits in the background with a clipboard just taking notes, because deep down inside, I want to be perfect. And this whole video is just my way of publicly putting myself out there to acknowledge that, and in an effort to break beyond that and actually start creating, start building my creative output, start harnessing my creative energies again, I'm going to publish this video because it's not perfect. Stutters, everything. I'm going to publish this video and I'm just going to continue to post. I'm going to continue to just iterate and improve bit by bit through sharing the knowledge and the value that I have in my mind. Because at the end of the day, this business that I'm building, I've got all the systems in place, but the business will only start to take place when I actually put things out there. And I feel like it's a massive disservice to myself, but then also you as the viewer, to not share what I have in here. To withhold that information is a great dishonor, because at the end of the day, if there's something that I can share which can help you live a better life and feel better about the world that you're in, or help you through a particular struggle that you are going through, then that information needs to be out there. And me getting trapped in my own self-perpetuated just cycle of nonsense is such a pathetic excuse. So I'm going to leave this video out here and look forward to seeing more from me in a more raw, authentic format. I suppose, even though I feel like I've always done that. I've just been so inconsistent because of the procrastination. But yeah, that's something that I'm going to campaign against defeating. This is me doing battle with myself, and in doing so, helping other people rally to the cause. If there's anything that I think I could sort of share here with you, is whatever it is that you are holding back on, whatever decision you feel that you need to make, but you're just not doing it, just take a moment, pause, take a breath, and then ask yourself, what is going to actually happen if I don't take action? What does my life look like if I don't take the action now? And when you have an honest conversation with yourself, I think you'll then realize just the reality of the situation that you're in and what the potentials are. Because that's all we live in. We just live in a world full of potentials. So, in an effort to inspire myself, I'm going to try and inspire you. See the potential that lies beneath the surface and that lies beyond just taking one simple action that could be as simple as posting a video. So that's my challenge to you, and in doing so, mirroring it back to myself. So that's it. See you in the next one.